Second inning in his debut, only 2 hits the rest of the way. So Brett Anderson against the Seattle Mariners, so he is making his second start today, and get the first one out of the way and see how he does against a very, very good hitting club, the Red Sox. I keep saying that because we know they're a great hitting club, but they have not so far, and we'll keep it that way for at least one more day. A's don't see the Red Sox for a while.
The Red Sox in this series, in the 2 games, 7 runs and a grand total of 18 hits. And on the year, the Red Sox have scored a total of 29 runs in 8 games. So do your math. It's less than 4 runs per game. At some point, they will start to hit. And since the A's will not see them again till July, maybe they can hold them down one more game. Ellsbury's retired on the comebacker.
To Landon Powell. Landon Powell, of course, 4 years as a professional. Played 1 game. He said maybe a couple in Arizona Fall League. He did play first base in college. But Bob Guerin, the A's manager, said between Suzuki and Landon Powell, he asked both of them, as Jason Giambi, rightfully so, gets the afternoon off. But Bob said to Powell and Suzuki about playing first base, and he said, I didn't particularly like the way Kurt responded. He said, you're going to be in there, behind the plate or at first base. And so he decided to go with Landon Powell. And, you know, there's something to be said about familiarity. And I know I unfortunately attempted to play third and first in the outfield, and it's horrible because you just feel so out of place, similar to what Bobby Crosby has talked about in playing different positions after playing just shortstop his whole career and getting up to the big leagues.
Well, I mean, at this level, you just can't hide somebody. It's just impossible. 3-0, and there's a strike to Dustin Pedroia.
But it's interesting, Landon Powell saying, you know, it's very similar to catching, except you don't dive for balls catching. You know, and then, of course, at first knowing where the second baseman's playing. There we go.
Crosby handles it. Nice throw across, 2 outs.
He talked about Giambi getting the afternoon off, and again, deservedly so because of the night he had defensively. Watch him pick Bobby Crosby's low sinking throw, and Cabrera the same way. And he said the hardest one, I think we'll show it next, is the one Dana Evelyn. There's a dive, started to throw. He said he couldn't feel his hands on that one. The hardest one we did not show is the one that Dana Evelyn fired a missile at him. And he said, I don't see how I caught it, much less able to stay on the bag long enough to get the put out. But a great job by Giambi last night, and of course led off the 12th with a walk. The A's ended up scoring a run without a ball leaving the infield. 3 walks and an infield hit.
See this shift on David Ortiz. So for this batter, at least, Ray, Bobby Crosby is a happy man.
That's right.
That's Bobby right at short.
Good. That is the A's third baseman playing shortstop in Bobby Crosby's familiar position.
I think I heard him just go, yeah, this is nice.
I don't blame him.
2-1 to Ortiz. Still looking for his first extra base hit is Ortiz.
Yeah. No, our boys have picked this one up to Evelyn. Dana Evelyn knocked the ball down, and watch this. As Jason said, a missile, threw it low, and Jason basically off the bag just trying to hang on.
If he doesn't make that play, it's a run for the Red Sox, and another runner is at third.
And we wouldn't have been here until midnight.
Well, do the math. That's right.
Yeah.
The game is 5-5 after 9 innings, I think.
It's just a strange game anyway, just the way it started, the way it ended. That's perfect there.
Swinging strikeout, Brett Anderson on David Ortiz. A couple of groundouts and a strikeout for the young lefty. So the A's get set to hit against the knuckleballer, Tim Wakefield. At the Coliseum, the A's come to bat against Tim Wakefield. First pitch floats in for a strike. So Ryan Sweeney in the leadoff spot again today. 270 the average for Sweeney with a couple of RBIs. It's it hard. Youkilis, a nice play to his left, and Sweeney is retired. 1 out. Look at the rest of the A's lineup, brought to you by McDonald's. After Sweeney, it's Cabrera, Cust, and Jack's going to DH this afternoon. Matt Holliday in the cleanup spot. Mark Ellis slides up to the 5th spot. Travis Buck, the hero last night. Kurt Suzuki catches. Bobby Crosby at 3rd, and Landon Powell at 1st. Bay, Ellsbury, Drew in the outfield. Lowell, Green, Pedroia, Youkilis on the infield. George Gutierrez is the catcher. Wakefield, I think he can pitch as long as he wants.
Well, he's 42 right now. He's got 15 in the show, 14 with Boston. And remember, he was an infielder prior to becoming a knuckleball pitcher. And yes, that's it. As long as, you know, covering first base, probably the most exertion he'll have all day. And that's why his catcher went out to give him a little breather. And I asked Tim Wakefield, how's your new catcher? He said, I like it. And of course, that's important for a knuckleball pitcher to have someone who can catch his knuckleball.
Pedroia handles a short hop, and Cabrera is retired. 2 outs. So Tim Wakefield, as Ray said, 42 years old, his 16th year in the big leagues. He has 178 career wins. 178, 158 is his career record, and 164 of those wins have come in a Red Sox uniform. Remember, he started his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. 9-6 against the A's in his long career. Jack Cust swings at the first pitch. Pedroia takes care of that, and it's a 6-pitch first inning for Tim Wakefield. So quiet inning for both teams offensively in the first. No score after 1. Inning, no score. Brett Anderson back to work. Kevin Youkilis leading it off. Youkilis rips one to center. Sweeney goes back, and he's got it for the first out. So the career of Jackie Robinson. Just 10 seasons in the big leagues. He didn't get to the big leagues until he was a little bit older. But he came up in 47, was the Rookie of the Year, and then the MVP in 49. In the Hall of Fame in 1962. So at the age of 28 is when he first got to the big leagues. So unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to play sooner. His career would have been Even better, just over 1,500 hits for Jackie Robinson. But it was today in 1947 at Ebbets Field Jackie played in his first game. And I think, unfortunately, Ray, for baseball, Jackie Robinson passed away too early as well. He passed away in 1972, and he was just 53 years old. Swing and a miss on a curveball. J.D. Drew strikes out. So a couple of strikeouts in the early going for Brett Anderson.
Well, he's working very quickly, and good breaking ball there following a check swing on the fastball by J.D. Drew. But Brett Anderson just getting the ball from Kurt Suzuki, the sign, and not wasting any time. You know, it's not a bad approach either. You don't have time to think. You know, you just, you know, most pitchers, especially young pitchers, not even think about what they're going to throw. Kurt Suzuki, even though he's just his second full year, he knows these hitters. Just go with what Suzuki puts down, and that way you can stay in a nice rhythm and just basically throw what he does call.
Jason Bay with a 2-out single. Well, I had a pitching coach tell me one time, a long-time pitching coach, he never liked to see a starting pitcher walk around the mound, take his hat off, take his time, because he said, in my mind, I'm thinking he's not sure what to throw. And he's trying to figure out what he should throw. Which to me, I sort of agree with. I mean, you have to think a little bit, but you don't want to think too much, right?
Well, and also you're getting your position players back on their heels when you do take a lot of time. These guys can stay alert just because he is working fast today.
Hit well to left by Mike Lowell. Holiday back, and this baby is gone. Just over the out-of-town scoreboard in left field, so Mike Lowell, his second home run of the year.
They threw a changeup, but it was kind of a batting practice type of a changeup at 83 miles per hour, and Mike Lowell fooled a little bit, but not enough from the A's standpoint. So 2 quick outs, base hit, home run within a matter of 4 pitches. The A's are down a couple of runs. Lowell knew it was gone.
So second home run in the series for the Red Sox. Remember, Youkilis homered on Monday night.
I think Brett Anderson's going to have to forget about the second inning. 5 runs in his debut, 2 runs this afternoon.
In that start in Anaheim, or I'm sorry, not in Anaheim, the Friday night here against Seattle, he retired the side in the first, the third, and the fourth innings. But the second inning was his downfall.
Granted, there were some broken bat hits and seeing eye hits, but they were hits and drove in runs. Well, the A's were down 3-0 last night in the first inning, came back and ended up winning the game late.
One and 2 the count to Nick Green. The A's scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first last night and did not score again till the bottom of the 12th. But great work by the bullpen. Actually, both bullpens were very good last night. Down the right field line, racing over his Buck. He reaches down and he catches it in fair territory. Very nice play by right fielder Travis Buck. Mike Lowell does some damage, a 2-run home run, and the Red Sox lead 2-0. in the top of the second inning. That is the score in the ball game. 2-0 as Matt Holliday leads off. Holliday, shallow right center, and it's going to be J.D. Drew who gets to it. So 1 out. Well, last night, Red Sox starting pitcher Daisuke Matsusaka just got knocked around big time.
Second baseman, Mark Ellis.
Ray, you mentioned it a couple times. His velocity was not there. And today, the Red Sox placed him on the disabled list. It's a mild shoulder strain. That's what the Red Sox are calling it. And in talking to the Red Sox folks, said he did not look good in his first start either, and the velocity was not there then. So Matsusaka, who was 18-3 last year, but after 2 starts this year, 14 hits and 9 earned runs allowed in 6 1/3 innings.
And it's unfortunate because, as we mentioned, he pitched so well in the WBC for Team Japan, and then to end up having to go on the disabled list. And there's always fought a lot of injuries during the WBC. Players had to rejoin their clubs in spring training, and other players had to replace them. And you know, usually something like that is more of an injury versus, I mean, it's only April.
Hit hard on 1 hop, but Nick Green stays with it. The shortstop throws wide, but Youkilis is able to come off the bag, catch the ball, and then tag Mark Ellis.
That was a throw so far up the line, no chance for Mark Ellis to even slide. The only time you really should slide at first and try to avoid a tag on a throw that's offline. Green plenty of time and just threw a ball that just kept running up the line. Youkilis, a very good play. Gold Glove caliber at first base, which he has.
Travis Buck, the first pitch. Jason Bay, he's got it. It's a pair of 6-pitch innings to start this game, the first and the second. So Tim Wakefield, sharp so far.
Ladies and
Starting Friday, but when they return Saturday, April 25th, the A's will host the American League champion Tampa Bay Rays. Game time is at 1:05, and 10,000 fans will get a Matt Holliday replica jersey, and it's courtesy of Pepsi. Get tickets online now at oaklandathletics.com.
Going to be the next homestand for the A's. We'll head to Toronto tomorrow. 3 in Toronto over the weekend, then 3 in New York, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and off day Thursday, and back at it here at the Coliseum next Friday, the 24th, and that giveaway on the Saturday, the 25th. The Rays will be in town.
Of course, that's following fireworks the Friday night. And remember, it's only a 3-game weekend series. The
That's
A's
right.
will head off to Texas and Seattle. So, like the Red Sox, I know the Rays will be back. But Good turnout for the Red Sox series Monday night, 20 plus, same last night. Should get 30 plus this afternoon. So very good turnout, especially today on a beautiful day for baseball. The A's trying to get a sweep. We had a cameo appearance coming back. This is the middle of second stop on a 5-city trip for the A's.
Yeah, that's right.
Oakland for 3 days before heading out.
That's right. So it's a stretch of 6-9, 12-15, 12 of 15 on the road.
And I agree with the A's director of team travel, Mickey Morabito, and that there's no way that a team on the West Coast, which includes the A's, should have just a 3-game series anytime, because the weather being what it is, especially early in the season.
Ellsbury. And Mark Ellis takes care of the first 2 outs here in the third. Well, overall, the A's schedule is pretty decent this year. There is one sort of quirk in that schedule, and it has to do with the Boston Red Sox. The A's have 2 trips to Fenway this year, and the 2 trips will happen in the span of 3 weeks. Maybe a little longer than that. The A's go to Boston July 6, 7, and 8. And then they go back to Boston July 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. You just don't see that very often, especially a team out of your division that you're only going to see 6 times or maybe 9 times. So 2 trips to Boston in July for the A's. And 3 ground ball outs to Mark Ellis in the third. Bottom of the third coming up. Suzuki, Crosby, and Powell will hit for the A's. It's 2-0 Red Sox. Bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Red Sox. Kurt Suzuki leads things off. A's have been swinging early against Wakefield in the first 2 innings. I said 12 pitches in the first 2 innings. It was actually 13. 6 in the first, 7 in the second.
With a knuckleball, you kind of hope, but maybe the A's have already noticed in this game that his knuckleball is working very well. He's in the strike zone. No reason to wait around. And they're not.
Four ground ball outs of the 6 recorded by Wakefield so far.
There it comes. There it goes.
Ellsbury to his right a couple steps, and that's the first down. Today's leaderboard is brought to you by Firestone. Oldest players in the big leagues right now that are on active rosters. Jamie Moyer is the oldest. Tim Wakefield in the 3rd spot. Omar Vizquel with the Rangers. Matt Stairs. John Smoltz, 41 years old. He'll turn 42 in May. He's with the Red Sox, of course, but he is not on the active roster. He's on the DL. Bobby Crosby, a shot right at Lowell, 2 outs.
Well, Jamie Moyer just signed a 2-year contract. His age at 46. Bobby Crosby timing this knuckleball perfectly, but unfortunately right to Gold Glove third baseman Mike Lowell.
Well, when Tim Wakefield started his major league career, it was 1992. That would make Brett Anderson 4 years old. Brett was 4 when Wakefield got to the big leagues. Two and one to Landon Powell, who's playing first base today. Drives one right center. Ellsbury racing back, and he tracks it down. Terrific play by Jacoby Ellsbury. We got the great jump, and he runs it down, takes extra bases away from Landon Powell.
Every time a Wells Fargo.
First pitch to David Ortiz, grounded. Ellis to the right, and he's got it. So he slides over on the outfield grass, makes the play, and David Ortiz is 0 for 2.
It's 4 ground balls in a row to Mark Ellis, and of course the sure-handed Ellis has handled them perfectly. Brett Anderson, that's 6 ground ball outs already. Fortunately, one fly didn't stay in the park.
See the first pitch changeup to Youkilis just off the plate. Youkilis a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. Youkilis 4 for 10 in the series with a home run. In that 12-inning game last night, he was 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. 4 hours and 24 minutes was the time of game last night, including starters. 13 pitchers were used. In fact, A's bullpen threw 7 1/3 innings, 125 pitches. How about the Red Sox bullpen? 10 2/3 innings. 185 pitches thrown. Holliday's got a race over. He'll backhand it and hold Euclid to a single.
Well, Landon Powell's first major league at bat resulted in a 2-run double against the Mariners, and going for another double. But Jacoby Ellsbury able to track it down. Very good play by the center fielder, the young center fielder. Geez, they're all wearing 42. Happy to who they are.
What they look like. So the only pitcher that was not used last night out of the bullpen for the Red Sox was Takashi Saito. The A's, Blevins and Wirtz did not get in the game.
That sets it up perfectly today. And talking to Bob Guerin, he was going to wait on Brad Ziegler to see if he could pitch today after going 2 innings last night to try to close out games. Thought he would stay away from Casilla for sure today.
Well, Ziegler, looking at the numbers, 39 pitches last night. Casilla threw 19.
Bailey also probably not available. Yep. So go with Springer or Wirtz if the A's get in a save situation today.
1-2 to J.D. Drew, who struck out in the second inning. Breaking pitch, that one stays high, so now it's a full count. Jason Bay, who's been swinging a good bat lately, he is in the on-deck circle. Euclid not going anywhere. Ball's hit down the left field line, foul, and it's going to drop just in front of the stands. So we'll have another 3-2 count. Joining us in the bottom of this inning, we're going to talk some hockey with Sharks terrific play-by-play voice on Comcast Sportsnet Bear. Randy Hahn is going to join us, getting ready for the playoffs. Strike 3 called, and Drew knew it.
Well, Brent Anderson, good fastball after a pitch fouled off by J.D. Drew, but you can get a good hitter to take a fastball for strike 3. It's a pretty good pitch, and Drew knew it. Still boggles my mind to think that with 2 strikes you're going to look for something or a particular pitch when the pitcher has an assortment of pitches, can throw them, but you see it often.
Right down the middle.
Right down the middle, exactly.
So 3 strikeouts for Brett Anderson. 2 of those J.D. Drew.
You can understand if a pitch is borderline and you might take it, but it's just one of those things that you kind of shorten up and look for anything to be able to make contact.
Good snapper there. Drops in for strike 1 and 2.
Good curveball. Everything's been pretty consistent. The only bad pitch was the changeup to Mike Lowell, 1-0 count. Lowell was able to hit the 83-mile-an-hour changeup. I say that because his fastball tops out about 90-91, so you like the differential of about 10 to 11 miles per hour between fastball and changeup. And at 83, you're only talking about 7, and that's just enough to look like a batting practice fastball instead of the true changeup when you pull the string.
Inside corner, strike 3 called. Couple of strikeouts, both looking for Brett Anderson. Bottom of the 4th coming up, 2-0 Red Sox. Bottom of the fourth is underway. The Red Sox with a 2-1 lead, or 2-0 lead. And we're joined by, everybody knows this face, Randy Hahn, play-by-play voice for the San Jose Sharks. Randall, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here, guys. What a terrific day. I'm sure it was like this last night at about the 11th inning, huh?
Well, it was almost today when they finished last night.
It was icy. We'll say that in honor of you.
I was talking to Kate Longworth before the game, and I think I noticed a little bit of frostbite around the edges.
Oh,
well, there was hail out in the Contra Costa area. My backyard had a nice sheet of snow or hail on it. But, you know, I've always, I don't know that much about hockey. I'll admit that up front. But I would like to know how you broadcast a game with no scoring.
Well, you know, it's been better. Scoring's up in the NHL, and the Sharks were one of the higher scoring teams in the league this year. So there was lots to talk about. See, but we have hitting nonstop too.
Well, I know that's true.
Good point. And a fight now and then.
Exactly.
Right?
We mix it up.
Well, Randy, congratulations on a terrific regular season. I mean, the Sharks really right from the get-go. Just awesome.
Yeah, they were the best team on paper going into the season. I think the best team the Sharks have ever had. And they lived up to it in the regular season. They won the President's Trophy as the best team in the regular season overall. But you know what? As you know, stop, forget it. Now the playoffs start and everybody's back to square one again.
Well, we've said that many times. Ball in the hole. Nick Green, tough play, and he makes it on Cabrera. Terrific play by the shortstop, Nick Green. But, you know, you talk about the NHL playoffs. It's the first round matchup with the Ducks for the Sharks. It all gets started on Thursday. Pre-game live at 7.
Right.
There it is. 7:30 the game, and Randy will be in charge of that. There's the full schedule, so only Game 3 not televised by Comcast Sportsnet.
And that's not 100%.
All right, you may be on. All right, but maybe more than any other sport, the playoffs in the NHL, complete unknown.
Yeah, it really is.
8-1, who knows, right?
And especially this year for the Sharks, because you know, in other years, a 1-8 matchup, you'd have a team that maybe was just happy to be in the playoffs. Getting Anaheim this year, you've got a team that 2 years ago won the Stanley Cup. They had 100 points last year, got knocked out in the first round, and there's the rivalry thing. Sure. You know, as you fellas know, with Northern California and Southern California baseball rivalries, and in the NBA to some degree, in the NFL back when LA had a team, it's always been special, and we've never quite had that in hockey because they haven't met in the playoffs.
So the Sharks and the Ducks, and that should be a lot of fun.
A's wish they could have more fun this afternoon against Wakefield.
It's not happening.
You better get to stick around a while because this game is moving along, and I'm going to say that and hope the A's start scoring.
Randy's going to stay with us until the A's get a hit. How about that?
All right.
Fans, I imagine a lot of
Red Sox with a 2-0 lead over the A's. Mike Lowell will lead off. Lowell a 2-run homer in the second for all the scoring. Enjoying our conversation with Sharks TV voice Randy Hahn along with Drew Remenda. Randy, you talked about the rivalry. You guys get the Ducks in the first round, but a couple weeks ago, you guys a major brawl at the end of a Sharks-Ducks game, and I believe that's the last game you guys played against each other, right?
Right.
So there's maybe a little hold over there.
Yeah,
huh?
you know, the Sharks ended up winning that game 1-0, and Anaheim was still really in the fever of their playoff run to try and get in. They got in as the 8th seed. So there was a lot of emotion, but, you know, you tend to not see that in the playoffs. There's too much at stake. And when you do see it, as if one team gets ahead. And believe me, if the Sharks get ahead 4-1 in a game, third period, Anaheim will bring that, because that's what they do. They try and get in your head. They try to intimidate.
So in baseball, it'd be great if you were getting blown out 10-0, fifth inning, you just start like throwing at guys, right?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Coming in, spikes up, you know.
So Orlando Cabrera had a hit taken away from him, and he makes a nice play on Mike Lowell.
Oh, just seeing every day, every game with Cabrera, his great hands, great range, and he continues to make the plays. Especially going to the slide as he does here, gets up quickly and knows he has a little time with Mike Lowell coming off hip surgery. Makes a strong throw and gets the out. Now, what are the rules? I know in baseball, fight breaks out, everybody comes out. What are the rules in hockey?
Well, that used to be the way it was back in the 70s, the old Philadelphia Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies, and you had those bench-clearing brawls, but hockey did away with that completely. If a player comes off the bench to join a fight, it's a $100,000 fine.
Wow.
And a 10-game suspension without pay to the head coach of that team. So if you're the player who does it, your coach just lost 10 games worth of pay. So it doesn't happen.
And the coach is ticked off at you, right?
Yeah, more than a little.
You chop your ice time a little bit.
So that's if you come off the bench. What about the players on
the players on the ice? They're good to go. You know,
oh, they can. Okay.
You're going to get a 5-minute penalty for fighting. If it goes on past a reasonable level, it's going to be a game misconduct. And there is the opportunity for them to suspend people for, especially perverted acts, but on the ice. But usually you'll just see some guys that are in that situation kicked out of that game.
So the guys on the bench, they put a lockdown.
Yeah, you better not leave that bench, or there's big trouble.
Wow, especially for the coach.
Well, they do. Hey, hockey's great. They let them go.
Well, the minor leagues in baseball, they have that rule that you can't leave the bench, and it's between the guys, and they get suspended. But they're trying. They'll never get it here. You have to try to protect your teammates, or especially as a catcher. Say a catcher, if somebody charges them out, a catcher has to try to get in between or tackle him. I did that 3 times. I always came out bleeding.
You're trying to help. Trying to help the situation. Foul territory, but playable for Landon Powell. So, Randy, I know your partner, Drew Remenda. I know you're a big baseball fan, and I know Drew, as he used to say, loves the hard ball.
Loves the rawhide.
So he's probably watching, sitting back, and checking a game today.
Absolutely. Actually,
he hates baseball.
Yes, he is in Saskatoon, where he lives and commutes throughout the season. So he'll be on that late night nonstop from San Francisco to the Bay Area tonight, getting ready for tomorrow's game. But
you know what? Drew was never. He was not shy. He said, "Yeah, I don't like the game. It's too slow." That's what he said. Off the top of the wall. And it's going to be a long double for George Kateris.
And you got the big challenge today. Everybody's 42.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to call this game.
Yeah. Well,
yes, you would. I've seen you do it.
I wouldn't be able to pronounce some of the guys' names, so I admire you for that. But this ball just kept carrying. It's so different from last night, where nothing seemed to be happening, although the wind, the way it was swirling, some balls traveled a little bit better than we thought. But this young man deserves a hit. If he has to catch a knuckleball pitcher and does it every 5th day, and that's about it, because Veritek's him the rest of the time.
One thing about the fights in hockey, and people that don't follow the sport as much may think they're fake or they're not really fights. Of course, the greatest player ever, arguably Wayne Gretzky, once said, if the fights in hockey were fake, I'd be in more of them.
Well, that's true. That's true. Anderson's going to get out of it. Randy, stick around for another half inning, all right? We'll get all set up for the Sharks and the Ducks on Thursday, and he can't leave till the A's get a hit. Stick around. Bottom of the 5th inning, Holiday, Ellis, and Buck against Tim Wakefield. Continue our conversation with Randy Hahn from the Sharks. As Randy getting the voice all ready to go. You ready to go?
Score, score, score. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
I hope you say that a lot.
After 82 in the regular season.
Yeah.
No, it's a long grind. It's a long season. Not quite so long as what these guys go through, but of course with the physicality and the travel of not being able to be in a city for 3 or 4 days consecutively, it takes its toll as well. You know, to win the Stanley Cup, it's almost a battle of attrition to some degree. The team that wins it isn't always the best team at the end of the year. It's the team with the most healthy players standing and the team that was able to endure the marathon the best. Although I think last year it would be fair to say Detroit was the best team and they won it.
And in baseball, they talk about it in the postseason. The team that is the hottest, it gets not necessarily well, but the team that's playing the best. But with yours, the marathon probably is more so just because of the extent.
Yeah, and you know, the more you talk to these players who have been through the process, the issue of experience becomes paramount to them. To have players on the team that have gone through it before, combined with guys who haven't gone through it before, they bring the hunger of wanting to win it for the first time. The veterans bring that experience of knowing what it takes, even sometimes just physically, of getting through 2 months of punishing hockey to win it.
Do any of the hockey players have their own teeth?
Some do.
Not all of them. Some of them.
And it's funny, but a lot of them just don't even bother fixing them because what's the point until they retire, right?
But the protection is a lot better now as far as the helmets I see. Players wearing.
You know, I'd say over half the players use visors now for eye protection.
That's good.
This one's going to stay in the ballpark. Randy, awesome seeing you. Good luck on Thursday, and we're heading to Toronto, so we're going to get into some hockey as well.
They haven't been in the playoffs for a while, but that's still a big hockey town.
Baseball. Come on,
all right, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Randy Hahn and the Sharks, they're getting ready for the NHL playoffs. 2-0 Red Sox. Nothing. 6th inning. Tim Wakefield.
He's thrown 39 pitches in 5 innings.
And he's been perfect.
And this game's not even an hour old. And I'm saying I normally don't talk about it's a quick game, but when you're broadcasting for a team that doesn't have a hit, you got to do something to try to change. Because the last thing you ever say is broadcast, it's a quick game, and it ends up going 4 hours like last night. But it's a different situation today. Brad Anderson pitching a great game as he did in his debut, but one pitch, 2-run home run. Now he's trying to keep it right there. And hopes his team can do something against Tim Wakefield.
39 pitches.
Perfect game, folks. Nobody's been on base. He has not pitched out of the stretch.
Big swing by Pedroia, and it's 1-2.
Normally you get a game and don't have a hit, you start thinking about bunting. He's quick. He's 42, but he's quick. He's the infielder before he became a pitcher, so he's very quick, handles the position very well.
That one dribbled down the third base line, but foul. So we wish Randy Hahn and the Sharks best of luck starting tomorrow night in NHL playoffs. Randy's a good guy. He and Drew do a terrific job. So on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, is where you can find the Sharks tomorrow night. So we'll be in Toronto, and I'm going to tell you something. When the playoffs, hockey playoffs start, and you're in Toronto, forget it. That's all they talk about.
It's like going to Texas in the fall when football starts.
That's right.
High school,
Yep.
you name it.
You got to search for a story on the Texas Rangers, and we may have to search for a Blue Jays story tomorrow with NHL playoffs getting underway. Bobby Crosby charges, throws low. Landon Powell digs it out. Absolutely no problem for Landon Powell. 1 out. Well, A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cash Creek. Cash Creek's Showers of Cash is giving away $500 every 20 minutes. Visit cashcreek.com for details.
We just cannot let a great pick by Landon Powell go unnoticed.
That
we have to
was
show
awesome.
that a few times in a replay. I'm sure that through business we'll show it. But all he had to do is watch Jason Giambi last night. But at least G has been over there a few times.
And he picked it like he's been over there for 15 years. And I think sometimes it's that reaction right after you've picked it as well, where you had to look like you knew what you were doing the whole way.
Backhand to the right, looked the ball in the glove, and yeah, Bobby Crosby said, "I think I'll test the kid." He handled it.
So 2-1 the count to David Ortiz. Ortiz is 1 for 11 in this series. And now 3-1. It's a good fastball, 94 miles an hour. Looks like he may have reached back a little bit on that one.
Well, so did Ortiz, and if there's one guy who was worried about it, was Landon Powell at first. As hard as that swing was from the big Poppy.
Well, the Red Sox 2-6 coming in today. Remember, they won their first game of the year. Since then, they have lost 6 out of 7. Ortiz skies one. Cabrera has it, 2 outs. For the Red Sox, they will be heading home, but I'm sure they feel like they need to get a win here. They will head home for a 9-game homestand, which ends with the Yankees coming to Fenway Park next weekend. So first matchup of the year between Sox and the Yankees.
That's a weekend, so that must be all 3 games on network, because that's usually what happens, right?
I would say there's a pretty good possibility. Travis Buck drifts back. He's got it. Euclid is retired, and so are the Red Sox. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Suzuki, Crosby, and Powell. 2-0 Sox. He's trying to figure out Tim Wakefield. A's have been swinging early in the count, and they don't have anything to show for it. 39 pitches thrown by Wakefield through the first 5 innings. Here's Suzuki. Strike call, 64 miles per hour. Suzuki flied to center. That was in the 3rd inning.
12 of 16 first pitch strikes, and that makes it hard on a hitting team when you have a knuckleballer throwing first pitch strike that consistently.
Wakefield's first start of the year, that was Friday in Anaheim. He walked 5, and Mike Lowell just dropped it. How about that?
That's as easy as a play you're ever going to see for Mike Lowell. And as you mentioned, Gold Glover in the National League, and catches it. Got a little bit on the heel of the glove as it came up, and then could not find it. So now Wakefield at least will pitch out of the stretch.
Bobby Crosby rolls from the foul.
Well, watch where the ball, no, this shot you did not, but as the ball bounced up, just instead of going into the pocket of the webbing, it hit the heel of the glove, and that's the reason it bounced the way it did.
So that's just the 3rd error of the year by the Red Sox. This is their 9th game. Short lead for Suzuki. So down goes the catcher, George Kateris.
And these guys, the trainer and Terry Francona, cannot do anything about it because he got hit in an area that no man ever wants to get hit.
Nope. And the only thing that makes it feel better is time. Just wait it out. So Kateris trying to stand up. So 1-2 the count. Center field, Ellsbury. He's got it, and that's the first out here in the 6th inning. So Suzuki aboard on the air.
First baseman, Landon Powell.
And Landon Powell hit. Powell in his first at bat hit a drive to right center. It looked like it was going to get down for extra bases, but Jacoby Ellsbury made a very nice running catch right near the wall. Powell now 1 for 5 on the season. This is his 2nd start. High strike called by Ron Kulpa, and it's 0-2. You don't see it all the time with a knuckleballer. Sometimes they throw it and they're not quite sure where it's going. But today it almost looks like Wakefield has good control of the knuckleball.
And I don't remember him throwing anything but knuckleballs today. 2-2 count here. First 2-2 count he's had all day.
Very high, shallow center. 2 outs. And he will mix in a 80, 82 mile an hour fastball occasionally, right? No, not even that.
72.
Which is still the proper miles per hour difference, right. From the knuckleball.
Right.
Think about a fastball changeup. I guess most pitchers say if it's 10 miles per hour difference, it's pretty good.
The only time he would throw the fastball, or his version of the fastball, the 3-0, 3-1 count, maybe. But today he does not have a need to throw anything but the knuckleball.
Ryan Sweeney has grounded out twice to Youkilis. And it's quickly 0-2, 65 miles per hour. But even if Sweeney doesn't swing at that, that was probably a strike. So that's what's making it difficult today. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Third strikeout for Wakefield through 6 innings. 2-0 Red Sox. Afternoon. Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question comes from Captain Josh from San Jose. Last night's game was long. What was the longest game in Major League Baseball history? Well, last night was 4 hours, 24 minutes. Nothing compared to what happened May 8, 1984, at the old Comiskey Park. The White Sox and the Brewers played 25 innings, 8 hours, 6 minutes, and Harold Baines won it with a walk-off. 25 innings. Hope it was a day game. Because if it was your traditional 7 o'clock start, you were there past 3 a.m.
I think the one game that I don't remember the exact date, but the Braves on 4th of July, between extra inning games and rain delays, and it was a fireworks plan, and ended up shooting off the fireworks about 5 a.m., 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you throw in a rain delay.
And can you imagine the folks in the neighborhood?
That's a good point. One and 2. So Tim Wakefield, the story right now. Brett Anderson has been very good. He's given up just 4 hits. And he's got another strikeout. That's 5 strikeouts. He has struck out J.D. Drew 3 times.
Hard slider from the left-hander, and Drew, who took a fastball for strike 3, his last at bat. He's seen the fastball, curveball, and slider now from the left-hander, striking him out 3 times.
Jason Bay, left center field, and that ball did exactly what the ball did the other night on Rajay Davis. Remember the ball Mike Sweeney hit? Was that Sunday? And that's exactly what happened on that ball. It was going right at Ryan Sweeney and then just hooked to the left.
Sweeney's a little bit harder than Jason Bays, but this one definitely had hooking action. I don't think Sweeney would have gotten to it anyway. But it definitely hooked away from him. Mike Sweeney's was a bullet to left center field, scoring runner from first base, the only run in that game.
Mike Lowell will be intentionally walked. That'll be the first walk issued by Brett Anderson. Nick Green is going to be the hitter. One final from the American League today. The Tigers beat the White Sox 9-0. Galarraga was the winner, Contreras the loser. Cabrera hit a home run for the Tigers, his 4th of the year.
Nick Green.
The Indians with a 5-4 lead over the Royals. That game in the 8th inning in Kansas City. Yankees and the Rays underway. No score in the 3rd. The rest of the American League schedule is tonight. Baltimore at Texas, Toronto at Minnesota, the Angels at Seattle. Of course, the Yankees will go home tomorrow to open up Yankee Stadium, the new one. CC Sabathia will take them out. How about that matchup tomorrow, Ray, at Yankee Stadium? Sabathia and Cliff Lee, old teammates.
Back-to-back Cy Young.
Back-to-back Cy Young.
One still with the Tribe, the other set for life.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's the high strike that's been called a couple of times, and on the A's, Landon Powell in particular. So unless that pitch was inside, mea culpa.
Green is 0 for 2. And he does not have a hit in this series. He's been the starting shortstop in all 3 games. 0 for 7. Here's your runners. Bay at second, Lowell at first. Bay runs pretty well. Lowell does not. Now it's a full count. That was pitch number 104 for Brett Anderson. He threw 84 in his first start on Friday night. And it's a walk. Didn't miss by much. Kurt Young's going to come out.
Got a lefty warming up with back-to-back lefties, Dua, Contreras, and Ellsbury top of the order. Probably more than anything, just trying to see how the kid feels. Because in the minor leagues, you start approaching 100. Your time is short.
Well, Jerry Blevins, the only lefty the A's have in their bullpen, he's ready. He's been throwing for a while.
He's been ready for about 2 weeks.
Well, that's true.
He's not gotten a lot of activity so far this young season, but because he is the only lefty, that factors in at times in the decision whether to bring him in or not.
So here's George Contreras. Curveball kind of hung up there. Contreras fouls it back. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Red Sox. All zeros for the A's. 1-2 now, so Anderson gets ahead in the count. Gutierrez a ground out to second in the third and a double in the fifth. He was stranded in that fifth inning.
5 strikeouts for 5 or 4.
Slowly hit. Crosby has it. Home for one to first. Double play. Anderson works his way out of it, and the Red Sox do not score. 7th inning stretch from Oakland, 2-0 Boston. Brett Anderson, 21 years old. Tim Wakefield, 42 years old. And both have been very good. Only scoring in this game. That right there, Mike Lowell, a 2-run homer. That was in the second inning, his second of the year. The Red Sox, pretty good defense, taking away a couple of hits. And Tim Wakefield, with the help, has not a lot of hit yet. This is how the top of the 7th ended. The Red Sox had the bases loaded and 1 out. But George Gutierrez rounds into the 5-2-3 double play. 2-5-0, 2-5-1 for Boston. 0-0-0 for the A's. So the A's looking for their first hit against Tim Wakefield. 54 pitches through 6 innings by Wakefield.
Well, maybe the double play turned by the A's unconventional in a sense. Usually it's 1-2-3 double play to get out of the inning, but a 5-2-3. I guess you could say fortunate was a catcher running. I think Gutierrez is that slow.
Cabrera has grounded to second, and he has grounded to short. 3-1. Like Cabrera just said, I'm not going to swing at this. Maybe see what happens.
He went up there to take until he gets 2 strikes.
Maybe. You're right. 3-2. It can make a difference if you can get a guy in the stretch, get somebody on base, whether it be a walk or however. Toward the A's bullpen, and it's going to drop just in front of the bullpen.
Now, hitter's approach is almost like Gutierrez, the catcher. You watch the young catcher behind the plate, and it's a specialty to catch a knuckleball pitcher, but he's just kind of sitting. Watch after he gives a sign, he just kind of sits back, flat-footed, and just lets the ball come to him. You have to do that as a hitter also with a knuckleball pitcher. Look at that, just kind of sits down, and you want to try to go after the ball, let it come to you.
Hit pretty well to right center, but J.D. Drew tracks it down. And that's the first out here in the 7th inning.
Designated hitter.
So the only base runner for the A's was Kurt Suzuki reaching on Mike Lowell's air to lead off the 6th. Then he never got past first base. One out, Jack Cust will hit. Strike call. No walks, 3 strikeouts for Wakefield. currently 0-2. Ray, I think we talked about it last inning. I think he has thrown a knuckleball on every pitch.
Even to Cabrera, who took pitches. A couple of them didn't seem to be moving that much. Almost like he was throwing a changeup for a knuckleball. Wakefield might have to ride the life cycle after the game, break a sweat.
If you like spring training, go down there and throw some more into the bullpen. Tim, it's getaway day today.
So, Charlie Huff, great knuckleball pitcher. I saw him one time with ice on his shorts. I said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "Well, you have to maintain these arms too."
Right.
Yeah. Charlie was a good guy. He's a great knuckleball pitcher.
Little flare, caught by Green. Oh my gosh. That, folks, was a sensational play by the shortstop.
Well, that's the second he has made. One a ground ball getting Cabrera. And Tim Wakefield threw up his arms, and I
thought it was a hit.
Yeah, a few people think something special. Turned around, reached up, ball found his glove, and a tremendous play by Green at shortstop. And
Mike Lowell on the backhand, straightens up, side retired. Wakefield, a no-hitter through 7, with some help from the shortstop, Nick Green. 2-0 Red Sox. Takes over for Brett Anderson. Very nice performance by Brett Anderson. The lefty Blevins. Numbers from last year, 3.11 ERA. He bunts it and it rolls foul.
Well, I'm sure Ellsbury's thinking a catcher playing first base, and we got to test this young man sometime.
It's a good idea. And a shortstop playing third base. Brett Anderson threw 109 pitches, 65 for strikes. Rifled foul. Sellout today at the Coliseum, 35,067. That's always nice to see.
Kind of brings back memories of the late 80s when the A's were going to the World Series 3 consecutive years. And to see sellout crowds and the business person special that the A's were featuring during that period of time. would come out, and that's when the whole stadium was open. And 40,000 people out here for a Wednesday afternoon game.
Bobby Crosby fighting the sun. He's got it in foul territory. There's a good look at the crowd. Plenty of sunshine today. Still cool.
But it's got to be nice in the sun. Sitting out in the stands in the sun. A lot of people with no jacket and just enjoying a nice day. Unfortunately, this afternoon is going too fast for them. If they're A's fans, it is. And a lot of Red Sox fans in the stand. You see quite a bit of red. Some people down behind the visitors' dugout, the Red Sox dugout, in red. Red Sox here. So they're either Bay Area season ticket holders who are Red Sox fans, or bought the tickets early enough to get behind the dugout.
Bobby Crosby throws out Dustin Pedroia.
This season, Fridays mean family. University of Phoenix Friday family pack includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Pepsis, and 4 bags of peanuts, and it's all for just $50. Opening night, fireworks games, Angel Series every Friday all season, and it's just $50. Order tickets online at oaklandathletics.com or look in your Contra Costa Times, Oakland Tribune, and San Jose Mercury News newspapers for details.
Ortiz is 0 for 3, a strikeout, a ground out, and a pop out. Swing and a miss. Sean Gallagher, who was the winning pitcher last night. It's time to do so. Youkilis would hit if Ortiz can get on.
The veteran, 67 pitches, 50 strikes out of the 67. So you can say, yes, his knuckleball's working.
Lined into the right field corner, fair ball. Buck picks it up quickly, throws towards second, but Big Papi, the ball rolls away from Cabrera, but Papi did not slide, but he was in there. Cabrera was unable to come up with it.
Well, that's the first of many extra base hits for him, even though it's occurring in the 9th game. Just inside the line, Travis Buck came up with it quickly, a strong throw to second, but with 2 outs, Ortiz was going to go for 2 regardless. This infielders will do, just trying to catch the ball in the same motion, tag the runner, but this time could not come up with the ball.
So the intentional walk will be issued to Youkilis. And it'll be J.D. Drew who will be the hitter. So 2 ways to look at it. They're going to face J.D. Drew, who has struck out 3 times. So he has not had a good day. The Red Sox may say he's due.
J.D. Drew.
So lefty versus lefty, Blevins to Drew with 2 outs and 2 on. way outside. Suzuki slides all the way past the batter's box to make that catch. Two and 0. And Drew gets back up. Not real thrilled with that.
Catch any hitter leaning in, ball up and in seems a lot closer than what it might be. That one seemed to be pretty close. Levin's not a lot of playing time so far this young season. As the only lefty, he will get plenty of appearances.
Strike on the inside corner. Drew had 3 hits last night. He was 3 for 6. Scored a couple of runs. 4 for 13 in the series, and he hits one high and deep to right. Buck looking up. That baby's gone. 3-run homer for J.D. Drew. It's 5-0 Boston.
Fastball supposed to be in. It leaked out towards the middle of the plate, and Jerry Blevins knew it. When all this started after 2 outs, 2 quick outs, they pop up to Bobby Crosby, ground out to Crosby, and then double, intentional walk, 3-run home run, down 5-0 with the pitcher pitching a no-hitter. Doesn't sound too good.
No. So Jason Bays had a good afternoon. He's 2 for 3. Five for 11 in the series. Two and 2 now to Bay. So a 2-run homer by Mike Lowell in the second, a 3-run homer by J.D. Drew here in the 8th. That is the scoring in this ballgame. So it has turned into a 28-pitch inning so far for Blevins. And a walk. Fourth walk issued by A's pitchers. 2 of them have been intentional. Bob Guerin's coming out, and that's going to do it for Jerry Blevins. So Sean Gallagher is going to come in with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. your local Toyota dealer, moving forward. And by Fry's Electronics. Your best buys are always at Fry's, guaranteed. Sean Gallagher in to face Mike Lowell. And the first pitch is a strike. The winner last night, Sean Gallagher pitched the top of the 12th, 10 innings, 1 strikeout, and got the W. Here he gives up the hit to Mike Lowell. So it looked like it was going to be a nice, quick 8th inning when the first 2 outs were recorded by Jerry Blevins. But since then, a double, a walk, a homer, a walk, and a single.
Pitch left up to Mike Lowell, who got the Red Sox on the board early. But at least down 2-0 gives you hope that you get a runner on base. Wakefield might make a mistake with a knuckleball, but a few extra runs now. It's a little harder.
Gallagher facing Nick Green. Eight hits in the ball game now for the Red Sox. Good pitch by Gallagher on the outside corner, 95 miles an hour. Into left field, that's a hit. Here comes Jason Bay. Holiday is going to just flip it in as he did not have a shot at Bay. And it's an RBI single for Nick Green. 6-0 Red Sox.
You have 35,000 people in the stands. You got a few Red Sox fans cheering everything the Red Sox do. Split the gap between third and short, and Holiday, all he could do is just get the ball back in.
George Kataris, the catcher, will hit. He's the 9th man to come to bat in this inning. He becomes the #1 story now, Tim Wakefield.
And I think we have a few fans, of course, being a quick game, they're in no hurry to leave anyway, but some knowledgeable fans sticking around and seeing what the situation is right now, that they'll be here to the end. Or at least, unless the A's, or when the A's get the hit, which probably is going to come to the bottom of this inning.
Ellis, Buck, and Suzuki, the 3 scheduled hitters. Not a good pitching line for Jerry Blevins. 2/3 of an inning. 2 hits, 2 walks, and 4 earned runs.
And the earned runs coming after 2 outs. That's, the A's have been doing a good job scoring runs with 2 outs. You don't like your own pitchers, though, to provide the same for the opposition.
So now a full count with 2 outs. So Lowell at second, Green at first. They will take off with the pitch. And it's a walk. Third walk this inning. The first 2 have scored. Top of the order, Ellsbury.
Trying to think, Kite, with the number 42, of course, being worn by all players around baseball and the umpires today, in honor of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. Think of Mariano Rivera, who didn't have to change uniforms. He's the closer for the New York Yankees. Trying to think of any other player who might still be around that kind of grandfathered in. If you were wearing 42 before they decided to retire Jackie Robinson's number, you could continue to wear it. but I can't think of anybody besides Rivera.
Well, he certainly stands out.
In the American League, I can't think
No,
of
I
anybody.
can't think
don't know
of
if anybody in the
anybody
National League.
I'm trying to think when that was put into play, so to speak. Number
Retiring
42.
I want to say it's been 5 or 6
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
at
something like
least.
that. One and one to Ellsbury, who was 0 for 4. He did not start the first game of the series. It was Rocco Baldelli that was in center field in the leadoff spot. He came in the game as a pinch hitter late. He was 1 for 6 last night. Little flare behind third, and that is going to be a foul ball. So Ellsbury 1 for 11 in the series. He's now 6 for 35 to start the season. Lowell, Green, Kataris, the runners. Off the foot of Ellsbury. Four hits and 3 walks in this inning. That's going to drop into center field for a hit. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score. So it is now a 6-run inning in an 8-0 Red Sox lead.
Well, we talked last night the excellent job the A's have been doing out of the bullpen. The ERA, the best in the American League. The 6 runs in this half inning today, all the result of the bullpen, does not help. Especially all coming after 2 outs.
And now Pedroia will hit. Dustin Pedroia is hitless today, 0 for 4.
Well, Ellsbury made the first out, Pedroia the second out in this inning, and it's not Ellsbury has gotten a hit. Pedroia trying to do the same to avoid making 2 outs in this half inning.
Pedroia is 3 for 14 in the series. So the count now 2-1. Indians won in Kansas City 5-4. So for the Tribe, just their 2nd win of the year. They're 2-7. Pedroia strikes out, so he is 0 for 5, but 6 runs scored in the 8th inning for the Red Sox. The first 3 coming on this swing of the bat by J.D. Drew, a 3-run homer. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 8-0 Red Sox. Suzuki. He's got plenty of runs to work with now after the 6-run 8th inning. So 8-0 Red Sox. Wakefield, no walks, 3 strikeouts. He's allowed 1 base runner. Suzuki reached on an error. He's had, on my count, 3 very nice defensive plays that have helped him.
Ellsbury and Green twice.
And when you talk about what Wakefield is trying to do, there's usually a couple plays like that that you go back and say, wow, that was a big part of the ball game.
And the Green play stands out, the one he made last inning on Jack Cuff's ball, that I think the way he hit it, the strength and getting jammed, but he had to be thinking that was going to be the one that dropped in. He made a great catch, spinning around and the glove up in the sun and making the play.
High, ball 4, so a leadoff walk to Mark Ellis.
Mike Bloor feels better. That's a great point.
This was close.
Yeah.
Kurt Schilling.
Base hit to right field off Schilling, and he shook off the captain, Jason Varitek. Shook him off and threw the pitch that he wanted to, and that's why you always trust your catcher, especially a no-hitter. A no-hit bid anyway.
That was with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Mike Lowe, who made the error, the only base running on Suzuki's ball, that just a routine play. He has to feel better now. No perfect game in place.
So 0-2 to Travis Buck. I will tell you the pitch count, although I don't think it really makes any difference at this point. It's 75. Buck hits one high toward left center. A long run for Ellsbury. Still on the move at the wall, and he makes the catch. Well, the young man has covered a lot of ground this afternoon.
That ball carried a lot better than it seemed when it left the bat of Travis Buck. So it indicates the ball or the wind might be going a little bit from right to left. Carrying this ball a long way left center. Long run for Ellsbury to get there and make the catch. I don't think there was a possibility. Of course, it has a no-hit bid going. Jonathan Papelbon, the closer. At the time, it was a 2-0 lead, and stirring around in the Red Sox bullpen. And now Wakefield's in there.
Yep.
Regardless.
Red Sox have an off day tomorrow. John Lester was the last man to throw a no-hitter for the Red Sox, and he did it last year.
There's Raymond.
That's
Raymond.
No-hit Raymond right there.
Figures I'll get behind some guys are going to talk about him eventually.
All right, there's your story. A base hit by Kurt Suzuki, and there will not be a no-hitter today at the Coliseum.
And the cheering by the A's and the sadness oozed by the Red Sox fans, and that's why the A's fans are cheering as loud as they are. And I tell you, been involved in no-hitters, nobody likes to get no-hit. I don't care what the score is, what the situation is, how nice a guy Tim Wakefield is. You just do not want to see 0 hits on the board. That was a hanging knuckleball. Zook stayed back, and he knew it. He's got their hit, at least one.
No, 2 on and 1 out. Bobby Crosby hits.
And I caught a couple more hitters, and yeah, that was fun.
But you also realize how difficult it is to do, right?
Yes.
When Eck threw his no-hitter, you were the catcher back with the Indians. Was he ever in trouble in that game? Was there multiple base runners ever?
I don't remember it being. It was a 1-0 game. Yeah. 1 run came in the first inning. Frank Tanana pitching for the then California Angels, and it was Eck and Tanana at 1-0, game over. But one thing that does happen as the game gets towards the end, 8th and 9th inning, especially the 9th inning, Remember, Bobby Bonds was playing for the Angels, and I was standing or setting up in the left-handed batter's box. That's so far outside. And he stepped out and asked the umpire, said, "Can he at least get close to home plate? Because you don't want to expand the strike zone to be 2 feet wide." But it happened, and it was one that only about 5,000 people saw it.
That one's going to drift foul down the left field line. Hit pretty well by Crosby.
Only 100,000 people said they saw the no-hitter, but in reality, there were not a lot of people at the stake on the lake, known as Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. Oh, Memorial Day, beautiful day. Why would anybody out on Lake Erie enjoying a nice day?
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. I think I looked at the attendance of that game. I think it was like 6,700, something like that.
We were able to count all the people in attendance.
First baseman, Landon Powell.
Catching just the inside corner, and Tim Wakefield, I believe, has a chance to pitch for several more years because of young man catcher. Jarvis has done a very good job, and you can see why Tim Wakefield is very happy with his catcher, George Gutierrez, and you understand why. He's missed one ball that I've counted all day, and that was with nobody on base.
And he does not look like he's struggling back there at all. And we've seen guys where it looks like a boxing match between the catcher and the baseball.
But it's simply just his position and the way he just kind of sits back, and even with a runner on base, the important thing for him is to catch the ball. If he gives up a stolen base, so be it. But you don't want to have wild pitches or fast balls with the knuckleball pitcher. And Wakefield's 42. Wakefield taking about 50 years old today. He has an annual option signed in 2008 with a club annual option. How's that? I mean, it's just
Isn't that great? He could pitch as long as he wants, and he's still good.
It's very good, especially games like today. Versatility.
Well, the A's are going to get on the board. Landon Powell lines a single to left center. Ellis scores, and it's 8-1. So the shutout is gone.
Landon Powell showing why the A's like his offense. Hit a ball to right center that was caught, robbed by Jacoby Ellsbury, but this one stayed back, and a line drive with a runner on second to get the A's a run. Boy, that 6 runs in the top half of the inning looks huge now.
Especially that it all came with 2 outs. A little bit low to Ryan's swing. Kashi Saito.
Who's number 42?
Saito. The only one to not pitch yesterday out of the Sox bullpen. On top of everything Wakefield has done today, I mean, he may get a big hug from his manager.
That's true.
Red Sox bullpen took a beating last night. Not necessarily that they didn't pitch well, but just the amount of work they had to put in.
Well, and also a credit to Ed Anderson, the A's starting pitcher, did a great job for 7 innings. If you think to Trevor Cahill, his good buddy, just 21 also, gave up just 1 run on Sunday. So the last 2 starts by the rookie 21-year-olds, 1 run and 2 runs in back-to-back starts for them.
Hit hard, but Jason Bay, the left fielder, was right there, side retired. So the A's a couple of hits and they get a run. So we're headed to the 9th, 8-1 Boston. Tomorrow to open up a 3-game series on Friday. There's your pitching matchups: Outman and Percy, Cahill and Talent, Braden and Romero. All 3 of those starting pitchers for the Toronto Blue Jays are left-handed. So the A's will see the 3 lefties.
A lot of southpaws in that series.
Man. Of course, you can see all 3 of those games on Comcast Sportsnet California, the new home for A's baseball. Blue Jays off to a 6-3 start, so they're playing good baseball. They are in Minnesota, and they will play tomorrow in Minnesota as well, and so they will get home late Thursday night. In fact, the A's will be in Toronto before the Blue Jays are in Toronto. Night game in Minnesota. Blue Jays won 86 games last year. 4th place finish in the AL East. High pop up. Only man on the left side of the infield is Bobby Crosby. He's there. He's got it. So David Ortiz, a 1 for 5 afternoon. Sean Gallagher gets the first out. Talked about it last night a little bit. So no Roy Halladay. The Doc is scheduled to pitch tomorrow in Minnesota.
Had a couple of house calls, so he was not available for that 3-game weekend series.
Fine with us.
Right.
So if CC Sabathia is pitching tomorrow, that would mean he would probably pitch Tuesday against the A's, right? Tomorrow's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So
Pettit and Sabathia.
And probably A.J. Burnett, maybe, right? Kevin Youkilis strikes out. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth.
When you talk to a left-handed pitcher, and rightfully so, throughout history of the game, there have been more right-handed pitchers than left-handed. But you say to lefties, just not a lot of them around. So what? Are you kidding me? But you look at the A's had a possibility of having 6 lefties if Joe Gonzalez had made the team in the bullpen. They have 5 as it is, 4 in rotation, and Jerry Blevins in the pen.
Swing and a miss by J.D. Drew. Interesting afternoon for Drew. He has struck out 3 times and hit a 3-run homer. Speaking of the Yankees, the Rays are beating the Yankees 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Close pitch, but J.D. Drew takes a walk. Six walks now issued by the A's pitchers. Jason Bay, the 6th place hitter, takes a strike from Gallagher. I read today where Tom Glavine is thinking seriously about retiring. His arm is not responding how he had hoped. We hope that's not the case. Keep an eye on Tom Glavine. Holiday has it. Side retired. Bottom of the 9th coming up. It'll be Cabrera, Cust, and Holiday. Lots of work to do for the A's. They trail 8-1. underway, bottom of the 9th inning. 8-1 the Red Sox. Tim Wakefield looking for a complete game. He's going to get the first out here in the bottom of the 9th on a ground ball to short. So Orlando Cabrera is 0 for 4. Fewest hits allowed in a complete game, 3. Wakefield done it twice. He has 30 complete games in his career. He had one last year up in Seattle, but he lost 1-0. So closing in on career win number 179 is Tim Wakefield.
Well, as you're right, what you said about Wakefield pitching as well as he has today. Jerry Francona and John Farrell will be able to enjoy the day off tomorrow, so 2 days to rest their bullpen.
Well, what he's really done is he's really eliminated any issues there might have been with that off day tomorrow. So now all those relievers will have 2 days off, and come Friday they'll be back to normal.
There are times where a bullpen has been so depleted that manager would tell the starting pitcher, the relievers are sitting in the dugout with us. So guess what?
Yeah.
You've got the day. It's your day. And there's some great pitchers who have said, fine, I'll take it, and just leave everybody in the dugout.
Matt Holliday, fly out, strikeout, and a ground out against Wakefield, who has now went over the 100 pitch mark. High to left field. Going back is Bay in front of the wall, and it goes off the wall. Rolls back toward the infield. They're going to wave Jack Cust home, and he will score. So it's an RBI double for Matt Holliday, and the A's have their second run.
Do you think that had been out of Coors Field?
Yep.
Kind of a one-handed swing by Matt Holliday. Just released the top hand and left the knuckleball up. I think the way he's trotting, he thought he had it, but just up on the out-of-town scoreboard. But the one thing you have to realize as a hitter facing a knuckleball pitcher, you're providing your own power. He's throwing 65 to 70 miles per hour, and you're sitting back and waiting, and just nothing, no help from the pitcher with the velocity. You get a fastball pitcher throwing 100 miles an hour, just make good contact and you can hit a home run if you can make contact.
First pitch to Mark Ellis. Well, if you think about a hitter, he spends each and every at bat against non-knuckleball pitchers and thinking, is he going to throw me a fastball? Is he going to throw me a changeup, a slider, a curve? Well, when you face Wakefield, you know what he's going to throw you. So trying to figure out what the pitch is eliminated. But the pitch that you do know is coming is floating all over the place. So Ellis pops out in foul territory to Youkilis, second out, and that'll bring up Travis Buck.
Travis Buck.
So 7 more games against these Red Sox for the A's this season. They will all be at Fenway Park. They'll be there July 6th for the start of the 3-game series. It's Brad Penny, one of the new starters for the Red Sox on the right. Josh Beckett recently suspended for 6 games on the left.
And by the time we see the Red Sox again, John Schmaltz should be back playing. I wish him well in his return to the American League, where he was a minor league player in the Detroit Tigers organization. But many, many years in the Atlanta Braves starting rotation.
Well, the Braves said they wanted to revamp their rotation, which they very much did.
Don't you have to give
a little
the guy a chance?
Yeah, you're a little surprised that John Smoltz would not be included in that. He's been so terrific. And I think he's going to be really good for the Red Sox when he comes back.
He's got a lot of motivation. There's no doubt. Of course, to return from surgery and then to be able to come to the American League, to a club that no doubt is going to have a lot of success this year. By the time he starts pitching, this offense will be in full gear.
Just a bit high, 3-1. To Travis Buck, who's 0 for 3s. 3 flyouts, and now he's on base with a walk. It's the second walk issued by Wakefield.
You know, you cannot walk out to Tim Wakeman and say, "Are you tired?"
No. Well, it's a tough call too, because you don't want to bring in a reliever, but then again, Saito has warmed up twice down there. And I know there's some managers, if they get somebody up, they feel like they should bring him in the game. And not all of them feel that way. Kurt Suzuki had the first hit for the A's, and he hits one to left field. Jason Bay back, and he's got it, and that's the ball game. So a complete game for Tim Wakefield, the